Here come the Massena Red Raiders. And the Raiders faithful making some noise here. There are quite a few people here, and not as many, I'm sure, as if the weather was better, but the Blue Streaks are coming out on the ice as well, and we're about ready to go with this Division I state championship game. Earlier today, the Canton Golden Bears got it done, defeating LaSalle Institute of Troy on a score of 4-2. Now it's the Raiders' turn, Dave McLennan.
Yep, the Canton Golden Bears bringing that Division II championship home. Played a stellar game here this afternoon, and I look forward to another outstanding game between these two clubs. As you mentioned in the pregame, Jerry, they're not strangers. Back on February 12th and 13th, the Saratoga Blue Streaks came to the Massena Arena and really entertained the Raider fans. Two outstanding games, winning one in overtime 4-3. And then the second day on Saturday, Raiders victorious 6-4. I expect the same thing here today. Two fine hockey clubs coming in. The Raiders ranked right up in there along with the Blue Streaks. In fact, Saratoga, I think, looking for where they were ranked 5th in the state, I do believe, and Massena ranked number 2 at the time. But I think both clubs are primed. Good, solid hockey. I don't think the coaching staff of both will tell them to stick to basics out there, do what you've done all year long, skate, forecheck and back check, and shoot the puck. And that's all you can ask here when you whittle it down to so many, down to 2. I tell you, this is going to be a good hockey game.
No question about it. Massena wearing their away red jerseys again today, as Mike Ramsdell, the goaltender, out there being introduced. Kenny Smith and Frank Joy on the blue line, and the Trevor Cameron line to start. Trevor Cameron out there with Mark Tayo and Brian LaBombard. The Raiders have been introduced, and they're standing at one blue line. Now for Saratoga, Joey Santamore is the goaltender. He's the coach's son, and he is a dandy. On defense, let's see here. Well, I missed the defenseman, but we've got Jordan Marsh, Charlie Fisher, and Andy Pemrick out there up front. And Section 3 and Section 6 will be the referees. There's no national anthem. They had one before the first game, so there's no national anthem before this game.
And the officials from Section 3, Jeff Fulton, and from Section number 6, John Murphy. I believe we had him yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. He was on the game.
Okay. The teams are clustered, Massena around their goaltender, Mike Ramsdell, who's done it all year for the Raiders, and the Blue Streaks are clustered around their bench, and we're about set to go with the Division I state championship game. And we were here last year, Dave. Suffern Mounties came from behind to beat Massena in overtime. I know the Raiders remember it. There are kids on that team who remember it. They don't want it to happen again, and they're going to play their hearts out here this afternoon.
You mentioned big Mike Ramsdell back there. A lot of pressure on these goaltenders. Mike appearing in 65% of the Raiders' games this year. 26 appearances. He's been in 17 of them. An outstanding goals against average of 1.94 and a sparkling 89% save rate percentage. So to go along with that, he's had 3 shutouts. But here we go today. All the marbles on the line. Just moments away from the face-off, and Trevor Cameron facing off against number 27, Jordan Marsh.
Marsh and Cameron, they're ready to drop the puck, and we're underway in this championship game. Kenny Smith flips it into the Blue Streak zone, and the goaltender has to stop it. That's Joey Santamore. Leaves it in the corner. Tayo picks it up. Here's Tayo, checked into the boards. Cameron, centering pass, bounces into the corner. After it, LaBombard. Brian, stick handling in the corner. Kirshner takes it away from him. Cameron is digging in behind, centering pass, and LaBombard fanned on the shot. The puck comes to the blue line. Kenny Smith cranks it up, deflected just wide. Puck bouncing into the other corner. Cameron after it. Cameron and Tayo both digging for it, and it's still kicked free, and finally the Streaks move it out. Pemrick to Charlie Fisher. Fisher to Pemrick, and he backhands it into the Massena zone. In behind the net, Frankie Joy. He's knocked off the puck. It comes to Kenny Smith. Smith bangs it. Cameron to LaBombard. Here comes LaBombard, and he's going to flip it into the Blue Streak zone. He stays with it, goes after it, and he and Kirshner go into the boards, and the puck comes free. To the blue line, here's a shot, save, rebound, bouncing around, wide by LaBombard. Puck in behind the net. Massena in the middle of a line change with a great opportunity. Aldis pinches in, trying to keep it in, he can't. Comes out to center ice. And that's Gabe Weeder with it, knocked off the puck. Bouncing puck control by Massena's Chilton. Chilton takes a check from behind, flips to Spanberg. Spanberg trying to drop it through the middle. It's intercepted, dumped out to center ice, and it trickles to the Massena blue line, where it's picked up there by Derek DeRocher. DeRocher off the boards, bouncing around, comes to Aldis, flipping it ahead to Gladding. Gladding has his pass knocked down. Aldis picks it up to the Massena blue line. Ahead he goes. Spanberg across. Steps by the check. Here comes Spanberg to Gladding in front. Shot, save, rebound in front. They jam at it. Another save, and it's dumped out to center ice again. Bouncing back into the Massena zone after it is Chris Aldis. He takes it in behind his net, being forechecked by Tony Kenny, but the puck clears the zone. Dumped right back in again by Tarantino. Back down the ice it goes. Into the zone, out to center ice. Jason Chilton picking it up at the red line, turns it around. Here comes Chilton stepping by the check. He's knocked off the puck. Cleared to the blue line, but kept in there. And finally the Streaks move it to center ice. Into the Massena zone it goes. And it's cleared back to the blue line and out to center ice by goaltender Mike Ramsdell. Tarantino's pass intercepted. Here comes Spanberg. Right wing, sharp angle shot goes in behind the net. Bounces in the corner. Matt Reed after it. Flips it in behind for Brian Terry. Here's Terry centering to Reed in front. Reed shot, score! Matt Reed on a beautiful pass from Brian Terry. And the Raiders, with all kinds of pressure, cash in and lead this game 1-0.
Raiders opening with a vengeance right here all over the Saratoga Blue Streaks. Two glorious opportunities. Brian LeBombard had one, Jason Chilton, and then the Raiders finally cash in. Just coming off the bench, their fine young freshman, Matt Reed, taking a great setup from Brian Terry, who went in behind the net, dug the puck out, and backhanded it out in front. Matt Reed just coming off the bench, picked it up from about 15 feet, put one right between the legs of Santamore.
Massena has been flying out there in this first initial play. Off the face-off, Fisher with it, flips it in the Massena zone. Frankie Joy in behind the net. Trying to rip it around the boards, it's knocked down. Joy after it again. Trying to center it, it goes in the corner. Brian Terry fanned on the pass, but Reed is back to pick it up. Here's Reed, he's upended, it comes to Terry, flips it out to center ice. Now it's controlled by Kirshner. Kirshner's headman pass, Pemrick flips it in the Massena zone. Back after it, Frankie Joy. Flips it to Kenny Smith. Around the boards it comes, controlled there by the Blue Streaks. Here's Pemrick with it, knocked off the puck. It bounces in behind again. Now it's Charlie Fisher, can't catch up with it. Brian Terry. Terry's long headman pass. Here comes Bergeron, and it's knocked away. A good defensive play by Murray. He clears it back out to center ice. Back across the blue line, back out to center ice. Here's Charlie Fisher across the Massena blue line. Winds it up, fired it wide. Bounces to Pemrick. He turns it around. Knocked down in front by Frank Joy. Joy to the open wing. Out to center ice it goes. Racing for it is Tayo. Tayo to LeBombard. Here's Brian. Drop pass to Cameron. Cameron gets knocked down but stays with it. Puck bounces by him though. Cleared out to center ice. Here's DeRocher with it. DeRocher to Aldis. Here's Aldis from the red line, deep in Saratoga territory. LeBombard cruising in after it, comes up with a puck in the corner. Here's LeBombard looking to wrap it around, then takes it back to Aldis. Aldis cranks one up, the save made, rebound goes wide, and it's picked up there by Tarantino. Tarantino in behind the net, rips it around the boards. It comes to LeBombard. LeBombard flips it for Cameron. Trevor in behind, gets upended, gets back up again. Here's Cameron, flipping to Tayo in the circle, winds up the big shot, goes high over the net. Runs the puck board. Aldis at the point, can't keep it in. Has to circle back out to center ice. He flips it back in the zone. Massena gets onside as the puck comes in behind the net. 1-0. Raiders lead it here on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Puck back out to center ice. Aldis flips it in the zone again as Massena is going to make a line change here. Here come the Blue Streaks as they move it out to center ice. Matt Wade, the big defenseman, flipping it down on the wing. It goes into the Massena zone, and icing will be the call as Josh Lewis fired it too far ahead. 10:14 left. First period, Raiders lead it 1-0 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
14 seconds shy of 5 minutes. You talk about opening strong. The Massena Red Raiders have been out here you couldn't get any stronger. They've been all over the Saratoga neck, and that was finally culminated, as we said, that goal at the 2:32. Matt Reed is 9th of the year, an assist from B.J. Terry.
Flatting off the faceoff, looks to center. It's poked into the corner. Picked up there by the Streaks. That's Charlie Fisher. Flipping it around the boards. Frank Joy steps into it. Dumps it around behind the net. Josh Spanberg in the corner. Spanberg flips it to Gladding, has it bounce over a stick. Goes to corral it. He's tied up behind the net. Gladding trying to move it along the boards with a skate. He and Kirshner. Now it's taken away by Chilton. Chilton into the corner now, stick handling. Chilton turns it around, into the circle, fires one right across the goal mouth. It comes to Spanberg. He turns it around at the blue line, trying to stick handle into the corner. Spanberg in behind the net goes to Gladding. Gladding now out of the corner. Looks to center. Chilton turns it around, fired it wide. Bouncing puck. Kenny Smith whacks at it. Comes right in on Santamore, and he covers it up for the face-off. 9:27 left first period. Raiders lead it 1-0.
There are only 5 red shirts out there inside that offensive blue line, but I'm sure Saratoga must think it's 10. You mentioned Josh Spanberg. That was changed. We talked yesterday that first goal that Massena scored, that was credited to Derek DeRocher. They did change that officially. Josh Spanberg from Trevor Cameron and Derek Gladding.
Face-off, Matt Reed. Off the draw, bouncing puck. Reed in the corner after it. He and Tarantino go together, and the puck squirts free, and Tarantino finally comes away with it. Reed's going to forecheck him, though, bothering him. Tarantino circles around, bounces it to the blue line. DeRocher keeps it in with a skate, dumps it in behind the net again. Picking it up is Bergeron, centering pass. Reed, shot, score! Matt Reed picks up his second goal of the game, and Massena goes ahead 2-0 on a pass from Sebastian Bergeron.
We talked yesterday about the Massena Red Raider trump card being that third unit that they're not afraid to put out there against anyone. They'll match them up with anyone's first unit. And that trump card allows them to go 3 against a lot of clubs going 2. And it paid dividends here again. Matt Reed, this time Sebastian Bergeron doing the big work in behind the net, dug the puck out, fed it out in front. And Matt Reed, what a sniper, just one timed it right by Santamore, and the Raiders lead 2-0.
Off the face-off, Cameron gets railed at the blue line, but flips it in the zone. Tarantino rips it behind the net, trying to flip it to the blue line, and the Streaks move it out to center ice. Down the ice it comes. Josh Bolster in the zone, flips it across the blue line. It trickles into the corner. After it there is Tony Kenny. Kenny gets tied up by Trevor Cameron, looks to center, bounces to the blue line. Mark Tayo. Here comes Tayo on Tarantino. Tayo trying to slide it by. Tarantino steals, but following up is Cameron. He fires it wide. In the corner is LeBombard. LeBombard rips it in behind the net. Tarantino rips it around the boards, trying to clear the zone. It comes ahead to Christian, to the blue line. Kept in by Tayo. He flips it, shovels it in behind the net. Matt Wade, the big defenseman, and he is a big one, picks it up and starts it out. Here's Wade going by one. Wade comes in the zone and then flips it around the boards as they want a wholesale change. Raiders pick up the puck, look up ice. Cameron has it knocked away. Here's Fisher trying to barge his way through, but Joy breaks it up and flips it out to center ice. Raiders lead it 2-0. Kenny Smith at his own blue line. His pass intercepted. Offsides will be the call on the Blue Streaks, and a face-off will move outside.
This is the Massena Red Raiders' 27th game of the year, Jerry, and they haven't opened any stronger than they have here this afternoon. And what a time to open strong. The coaching staff really has them ready for this one. Up 2-0. That 5:56 mark, Matt Reed from Sebastian Bergeron and Derek DeRocher.
Here's Aldis, long head man, Gladding to Chilton to Gladding. Tic-tac-toe, drop past Chilton. Here comes Chilton, he lost his edge. The puck bouncing around in the slot. Chili trying to pick it up, throws a check, stays with it. He's so strong on his skates. Chilton in behind, wraps it in front. Now it's Gladding. Gladding in behind the net, and we have a whistle. And there's going to be a man in the crease on Chilton as he got knocked down into the crease in his defense. But they call it, move the face-off outside the zone.
It doesn't matter which unit they put out there, the Trevor Cameron, the Jason Chilton, the Matt Reed line, all 3 lines are really possessed. And we used the term in the past, the Sharks feeding frenzy. I'll tell you, they are out there. They're a hungry bunch of Red Raiders right now.
Timmy McNamara to face off against Chilton for the Blue Streaks. McNamara flips it in behind. They clear it to center ice. Right there is Gladding to rip it back in the zone. In behind the net it goes. After it is Gladding in the corner, he lets it go to Aldis. Chris flips the shot. Oh, big save. Beautiful save by Santamore. And the puck comes back to the blue line. DeRocher flips it in behind the net. Derek Gladding looks to center, hit the back of the cage. Now Chilton throws a big check, steals the puck. He's got it in the corner. He picks up 2 Saratoga men, and he stays on it. The puck finally trickles free, and it comes to Spanberg. Spanberg looks to center, hits the back of the mesh, gets it back again. To Chilton in front, shot, score! Jason Chilton, and Massena goes up 3-0.
Just relentless. That's the only thing I can say. Relentless. Saratoga just cannot get out of their own end. And that time, Jason Chilton, this is reminiscent of the last goal. It was dug out behind the net. I'm not sure if it was Spanberg or Gladding. Derek Gladding dug it out. Sometimes it's hard to pick that 18 and 19 out. They both look alike, same stature. Dug it out behind, and Chili parked out in front, about 8 feet in front, uncontested. Put it on his stick, and he didn't waste any time. Right by Bobby Santamore, looking up at the shot. 3-0, and Saratoga hasn't even got a shot on goal yet, Jerry.
Off the face-off. Matt Reed's line out there. Here's B.J. Terry with it, poked away. Bergeron ahead to Reed, hit him in the back of the skate, and the streak slided into the Massena zone. Kenny Smith back after it. Here's Smith ripping it around for Bergeron. Sebastian has it knocked away, but stays with it. Poke checked into the corner. McNamara tied up, hits to the side of the net. They jam at it. It kicks free. To the blue line. Here's a shot. A sprawling Bergeron breaks it up and moves it out to center ice. Dump back in the Massena zone. We have a whistle. We're going to have a slashing call, and our first penalty of the game will go, I believe, against the Massena Red Raiders. No. I take that back. It's going to go... Now, who is it? Yeah, it is against the Raiders. I thought so. Matt Reed.
Jerry, they gave the assist, and I think it was Josh Spanberg that dug that in behind. As we mentioned, it's hard to 18 and 19, and they look similar in appearance. But Jason Chilton is 13th of the year from Josh Spanberg at the 8:04 mark. Massena leads 3-0.
Raiders try to kill a power play here as Reed picks up a slashing call. Puck goes in the Massena zone. Aldis looks, doesn't clear it. It does clear. It bounces out to center ice. It looked like Wade had kept it in, but he didn't. Now it's Kirshner stepping by the check, but there to pick it up is Derek DeRocher. He flips it around behind his back, goes to Tayo. Tayo looks up ice. Headman, Aldis. Here comes Aldis in the zone. Winds up the shot. Santamore has to make a big save. And we have a whistle, and we're going to have a hit from behind against the Streaks, and that'll even things up.
That happened in behind the Raider net, Derek DeRocher, and he's bent over in some discomfort. But I'll tell you, there's a youngster who has been very sick all week long, and he had a super game yesterday. And here he took a charge from behind. He had just ran the puck to the strong side, relieved some pressure, and the Saratoga player hit him from behind, took him into the boards right behind the net, and the official right on the spot.
So now we'll be skating 4-on-4 for the next minute, too. Then Massena will have a very brief power play. Raiders lead at 3-0 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Off the face-off, puck cleared out to center ice. Kenny Smith picks it up, rips it ahead for LeBombard. Bryan just pokes the puck deep in Saratoga territory, picked up by Wade. Wade in the corner. Big defenseman, as we mentioned. He's going to crank it down the ice. Doesn't clear the zone. LeBombard winds up. His shot is blocked. Bounces high in the air. Frankie Joy keeps it in. Here's Joy flipping to Tayo in the corner. Mark gets tied up, has the puck poked free, but stays with it. And where is it? It's still in the corner as he and Sean Murray go after it. Finally, it's picked up by Matt Wade. And Wade's going to skate it out to center ice. Headman pass goes to Fisher. Fisher trying to cross the blue line. LeBombard's got him, knocks the puck off his stick. Frank Joy with it. Joy, headman, out to center ice. We got delay penalty on Saratoga. Here comes Mark Tayo, 1-on-3, and he drops it back for Kenny Smith. Smith gets knocked off the puck, goes after it in the corner. Finally, Pembroke cranks it, and the whistle blows, and there's going to be a roughing call against the Blue Streaks, and Massena will go on the power play, and in 5 seconds, they'll be on a two-man advantage.
Cardinal sin, Matt Kirshner. If you're going to clear up the middle, you don't want to telegraph. You want to move it in a hurry. 1, he telegraphed. 2, he didn't move it in a hurry. And standing just 10 feet inside the blue line, number 17, Brian LeBombard read that and just picked it off, and he cranked one. And fortunately for Saratoga, hit a player in front and deflected wide. But Raiders came within an eyelash of putting a number 4 up on that board.
Jason Chilton, Josh Spanberg. Let's see here. Chris Aldis and Trevor Cameron will be out. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Cameron's going to move back to the blue line. And Massena's going to get a man back here in 5 seconds. Off the face, Chile wins it. Goes back to the point to Aldis. Aldis flips back to Chilton. Kind of bounces by him in the corner. Now the bouncing puck along the boards comes to Aldis. Massena's got a two-man advantage here for a short time. Aldis flips to Chilton. Chilton in the circle. Cross-ice pass for Cameron. Has to come back to the blue line for it. He goes in the corner to Spanberg. It's knocked away. Josh can't come up with it. And Saratoga clears it down. 9 seconds left in the two-man advantage. Very short-lived two-man advantage. They're going to get a man back here in a minute. And here comes Chilton with a puck. Saratoga gets a man back. Here comes Chilton. Chilton takes it across. Steps right down the middle. Trying to flip it through to Spanberg. It's knocked away. And it's cleared to center ice. Cameron with it there. 44 seconds left in the Massena power play. Cameron with a puck at his own blue line. Almost has it knocked away. Circles. Flips it to Gladding. Gladding takes it across. Steps by the check and overskates, gets it back again. Flips it to Chilton. Chilton gets tied up by McNamara, and he flips it out to center ice. Here's Cameron again with it. Drops it for Aldous. Aldous in the corner. Massena zone. Starts out. Headman. Gladding. Gladding to Cameron. Streaking down the left wing. Trevor winds up. His shot. He fires wide. Puck whips in the corner. Sebastian Bergeron. Nice drop pass. To the point. Aldous cranks it up. The shot deflected into the corner. Puck goes to Spanberg, to Gladding in behind. Here's Gladding looking. He's got Aldous ripping in front. Gets a shot off, but it was a little bit behind him. And Santamore makes the save as he didn't get good wood on it.
Oh, Derek Gladding, nice play in behind the net. He read the Raiders. Saratoga had the two forwards covered in front, but number 7, Chris Aldous, jumped down right down the middle. Derek Gladding read him, and he put it just right on the stick, and Aldous couldn't direct it towards the goal. But a nice read by Derek Gladding.
Matt Reed out there. Reeder's got 2 goals here in this first period. He'll take the face-off once again for the Massena Red Raiders. Off the draw. Puck trickles into the slot, but it's picked up there by Matt Wade, and he moves it out to center ice. Charlie Fisher. Fisher gets the shot off, fired it wide. Puck goes into the corner. Pembroke after it. Reed gets there first. Pokes it to Kenny Smith. Pembroke steals. Looks to center. Fisher. Fisher has it poke checked away. Puck sits into the corner now. Picked up by the Raiders. They don't clear the zone, though. So the blue line now, Reed backhands it out to center ice. About 3 minutes left in the period. Raiders lead it 3-0. Here comes the headman of Matt Reed. Poke checked away from him. And a nice stick check by Kenny Smith broke up a possible Saratoga rush. Smith just does so many things well. Steps up, flips it ahead. It's knocked away. Comes back to the Massena line. Kenny Smith will corral it again. Here's Smith. Flips it ahead. Out to center ice. Bouncing around. Dump back in the Massena zone. In the corner, Frankie Joy. Here's Joy after it. Frankie looks up ice, goes to Brian Terry. Terry ahead to Reed. Reed gets tripped up. The puck dumped back in the zone. It goes off a body into the Massena bench. And with 2:24 left, we'll have a face-off just outside the Massena zone. 3-0. Raiders lead it on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
You mentioned Kenny Smith does so many things so well, a lot of times unnoticed. He's certainly not the prototype of a defenseman. He's not big, doesn't have a great shot, but he just does so many things so well, as you said, Jerry.
Here's Tyo with it. Headman of Cameron goes by him. Picked up by Matt Kirshner. Kirshner flips to the Massena line. Derek DeRocher is there. Here's DeRocher trying to get to Cameron. They're going to wave the icing off. I don't know why. And the puck goes all the way back in the blue streak zone. Back to the blue line. Cameron throws a check. Tyo picks up the puck. Here's Mark Tyo in behind. Tyo gets tied up but stays with it. Finally, it's taken away. And Cameron cruising after it. He can't come up with it. And it's picked up there by John Bolster out to center ice. Dumped all the way down the ice in the Massena zone. They ruled it touched somebody on the way by. Chris Aldous back to pick it up. Aldous rips it to DeRocher. DeRocher, headman, out to center ice, a little bit too far. Backhanded in the zone. Aldous skates it ahead. Here's Aldous leading the attack. Steps by the defenseman. Aldous breaks in front. Shot. He fired it over the net. Oh, he made a great move. Just a super move. Now Cameron in the corner trying to come up with a puck, and it's iced by Saratoga. The whistle blows. And with 1:23 left in the first period, it's still 3-1 Massena. The Raiders are out shooting Saratoga 10-1.
What a move you mentioned. Chris Aldous picked up the puck in his own end and skated the length of the ice. You didn't use your by one, by two, but he certainly did. He danced right around the Saratoga defenseman, rifled a shot, and it hit a stick. Somebody stuck a stick in there, up, deflected up over the top of the glass.
Off the face-off. Chili's line out there now. For Massena, Chilton's got it in behind the net. Circles in front, and nobody there for Massena to pick it up. And the puck trickles out to center ice. Derek Gladding winds up, wraps it in the zone. Chilton cruising in after it. It comes back to the blue line. Gladding can't keep it in. Here come the blue streaks, and McNamara decides to dump it into the Massena zone. In behind Kenny Smith, rounding the boards, flips it ahead. Here comes Spanberg. Headman pass meant for Gladding. Can't catch up. Chilton, though, is there. Here's Jason Chilton. Gladding and Chilton digging in the corner. They get tied up. The puck's still free. Controlled by Chilton out by the blue line. Jason gets by one. Gets hooked. It comes to Joy. He winds one up the shot, and Santamore is out of his net to dive on it, and the faceoff will come inside Saratoga territory with 39 seconds left. Jason Chilton, I mean, he just got hooked and stayed on his feet.
Jerry, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, talk about possessed. The captain, Chili's, he's done all year long. They clutched him, they grabbed him, they hooked him, and they couldn't knock him down. They couldn't bring him down. They couldn't knock him off the puck. He is just playing just like all these Raiders out there possessed. We have 39 seconds left in the first period. Saratoga's had one shot on goal, and that came.
Here's the Bombard shot, and it's knocked down in front. Santamore covers it up right off the face-off. Cameron wins it to LeBombard, and he got the good shot off, and Santamore made a good save.
Outstanding save right there. I mentioned that one shot of Saratoga coming after the 8-minute mark.
Face-off again in the Saratoga zone. Back to the blue line. Kenny Smith flips it in the corner. Here's Cameron trying to center it. It's knocked down in front. Picked up by Tarantino. Tarantino rides it out to center ice. Jason Chilton is there. Chilton flips it ahead for Cameron. Cameron, a hit to Tayo, 2-on-1 to LeBombard. He breaks it all by himself. Shot, and the save. Rebound goes in the net. And Massena goes up 4-0 with 15 seconds left in the first period. Brian LeBombard will get the goal. What a beautiful setup, though. The Raiders take a commanding 4-0 lead.
Just a beautiful setup, Mark Tayo. The Raiders here with 15 seconds left in the period. Just gained the zone, created a 2-on-1, caught the blue streaks up over the blue line, and Mark Tayo stepped across the blue line, drew the defenseman, set it right on Brian LeBombard's stick. He went in, and it looked like Santamore made the initial save, but the momentum carried it over the goal line.
Here comes Massena's Cameron. Oh, he fires it just wide. Tayo, the rebound bounces in front. It goes into the corner. Here's Mark Tayo. Steps it, tries to center it. Cameron gets tied up. And with 0 time, the puck is fired down the net. Oh, I don't know if Massena's played a better period of hockey than they did in that first period.
Well, if they play a better period than that, they'd be up playing probably Clarkson University tonight, Jerry. They just were really cranked right up to the top of their game. And I'll tell you, a team that wanted to hear that siren go off to end this first period was Saratoga, because they've been into the Lions' den and been mauled and brutalized. They just want to get to the locker room and recoup. And I don't know what you say when you go in there, because Coach Bobby Santamore's really got a chore to get this club back in this hockey game.
4-0. Massena leading 12 shots on net for the Raiders to 1 for Saratoga. Massena just dominating this hockey game. Our broadcast this afternoon, very much, and good afternoon again, everyone. We played one period here. The Massena Red Raiders are leading it 4-0 as they came out firing on all cylinders in that first period and completely dominated the hockey game.
Jerry, I'm sure the Bobby Santamore and his Saratoga contingent, they know that we got hit by a storm, a blizzard here yesterday. I think they feel it's been revisited wearing red shirts, because they just ran into a blizzard out there. And I know the Raider coaching staff, sometimes you have to look for little negative things to kind of, so their heads, don't get too big. The only thing I can think negatively that they might say to him, well, you didn't come off the bench quick enough, or you stood up and blocked my view, because they just had an absolutely outstanding first period in all phases of the hockey game.
No question about it. They'll try to keep it going here. Trevor Cameron out there to take the face-off with his line mates against, of course, the Jordan Marsh line. And we're ready to go in the second period. Raiders lead it 4-0 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Off the draw. Puck goes in the Massena zone. Kenny Smith rips it around the boards for Brian LeBombard. LeBombard loses the puck in front, and I don't know if that got through. We're going to have a penalty against Massena. Or is that just for the net knocked off? I think he did call a penalty on Frank Joy for interference.
No question. Frank Joy is going to take the gate. And Frank, what all good defensemen do, and he's certainly come on strong in the latter part of this season for the Raiders. I know the coaching staff has to be very pleased, but shot came to the point, and Frank...
Oh, they're calling matching. Okay.
Frank, well, he got the first one. He saw that white shirt in front, and he just took him out of there. He was bothering his goaltender. Evidently, maybe they're going to call the Saratoga player for giving Mike Ramsdell a tap. But good job by number 3, Frank Joy.
So that'll be matching minors. So we'll be skating still 5-on-5. Although the Raiders only have Pemrick picking up the Saratoga penalty and Massena's Frank Joy. Cross-checking on Joy and roughing on Pemrick.
Well, Frank did go in with the stick, no question about that. I didn't see Pemrick's, but evidently he might have tapped Mike Ramsdell.
Didn't argue about it.
No, he didn't.
Off the face-off in the Massena zone, Trevor Cameron out there against Tim McNamara. Off the draw, they try to get a shot off, but Cameron did a good job to break it up. He gets the head man. Here comes Trevor across the blue line, drops it to Tayo. A little bit too hard, but Tayo chases it down, looks to center, hits the back of the net. Puck poke checked into the corner. Around the boards it goes. Here's Cameron digging for it out at the blue line. Kenny Smith is there as well. The puck still in front. Finally, it clears out to center ice. Here comes the Blue Streaks into the zone. It's Josh Lewis. Looks to center, hits the side of the net. Kenny Smith clears it. Along the boards, LeBombard takes a shot. Puck bounces into the corner. Smith again. Rips it by the player. Here comes Aldis, flipping it ahead to himself. Overskates it a little bit, then pokes it out to center ice. Here comes Aldis. Aldis with Cameron. Here's the head man of Cameron. Trevor winds up, scores! What a bullet by Trevor Cameron! And the Raiders take the 5-0 lead. Beautiful pass by Aldis. No mistake, as that puck almost came out of the back of the net. It was shot so hard, and it went right by Santamore, and Massena goes up 5-0.
You could see Saratoga. I'm sure Coach Bob Santamore said, we're down 4-0. We've got to gamble some, and they're jumping down. The defensemen are pinching down. That's what happened that time, and created a 2-on-1. Chris Aldis somehow found himself up in the neutral zone with a puck. Fed Trevor Cameron a beautiful pass going down that left side, and you said he just blew it by Santamore.
Off the face-off, puck controlled by Spanberg, has it knocked away. Picked up, here comes Gladding. Gladding has it knocked at the blue line. Trying to pick it up is Massena, but they can't control. Now it's Aldis. Ahead to Gladding again. In the zone. Oh, Gladding just got railed, but the Saratoga player went down. Aldis flips it back in, but Massena clears the zone as they had a delayed offsides. Gladding throws a check. Aldis picks up the penalty, looks ahead. He's got Chilton. Here comes Jason. Winds up. His shot is blocked. Bounces back to Spanberg. Backhander is wide into the corner. Gladding digs it. Now Spanberg, Spanberg takes it back to the blue line. Drops it to Aldis. He winds it up. The shot deflected in front. And Santamore's on top of it. And the Massena forward, Gladding, is on top of him as he got knocked down. And the faceoff will come in the Saratoga zone with 13:11 remaining in the second period. And on the Corky's Collision scoreboard, Massena leads at 5-0.
Derek Gladding having to take that punishment forwards to the shot coming from the point. He jumped out in front of Bobby Santamore. And the shot came from the point. Santamore made the save. Didn't know where it was. It was right down at Derek Gladding's feet. Before he could get a stick on it, he got waxed by two of the Saratoga players. And Saratoga calls a timeout, and they're going to make a goaltending change.
Russell Schwartzbeck will come into the game to play goal. Russell Schwartzbeck.
You know, that's got to be tough on the Saratoga coach, Bob Santamore, because the youngster that he is replacing is his son, Joey Santamore, and he's been just under siege. I really couldn't fault him with any of them, especially that last one that Trevor Cameron just blew by him. That was just an awesome shot, but maybe he doesn't want to subject his son to, or the goaltender. I'm sure he's got to divorce himself from the fact that it is his son, and he's doing what he feels is best for the team, and he's making a goaltending change right here.
13:11 left in the second period. Raiders lead 5-0 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard, and the goaltending change has been made. The buzzer sounds, and it'll be Schwartzbeck's turn to withstand the barrage.
Jerry, we mentioned in the first game that we did that the Canton Golden Bears smelt the roses last year and came away. You don't often get that opportunity to come back for a second chance. And the Raiders even came that much closer, losing in overtime last year. But they worked so hard to come back. A long season, anything can happen. Tough bounces, injuries, things like that. They worked themselves back here to Utica, and I'll tell you, they're not going to miss that opportunity. I've never seen a team play so possessed as the Massena Red Raiders here this afternoon.
Off the face-off, Frankie Joy drives one right on the rebound. They score again. Josh Spanberg, and it's 6-0.
Right off the face-off, right back to Frank Joy. The Raiders won the face-off. Jason Chilton got it back to Frank Joy. He cranked a low shot just inside the blue line, found its way to the net. Goaltender made the save, but gave up the big rebound and parked just off to the crease of the Saratoga goaltender with Josh Spanberg. And I'll tell you, you or I could have put that one in because Josh had the whole net and he didn't make any mistake.
Off the face-off. Here come the Streaks. No, poke checked away. Massena controls at their own blue line. They flip it ahead. Matt Reed steps ahead to Bergeron. Sebastian rifles it in the Blue Streak zone. So Schwartzbeck is greeted with a goal as soon as he steps in right off the opening faceoff. Here's B.J. Terry in the corner, looks to kick it ahead. He gets tied up. The puck is still free, apparently. Now it's cleared in front, and Reed didn't see it. And the Streaks are going to try to move it out to center ice. They do. Here comes Scotty Christian, flipping it in the Massena zone. In the corner, Joy looks to throw the check and does. Terry picks up the loose puck, looks for Reed, a little bit too far, and that's going to be an icing call against the Massena Red Raiders and move the face-off back in their own end. 12:26 left in the second period. Raiders lead it 6-0 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard.
12:26 left in the second period. We look up at the scoreboard, and the shots are the Massena Red Raiders 16 and the Saratoga Blue Streaks 2. That's just an indication of the domination we've seen here this afternoon.
Matt Reed against Jordan Marsh. Off the face-off, here's a shot. Fired high and wide. I don't know if Rammer got a piece of it or not, but the puck is cleared anyway. Here comes Matt Reed. Reed takes it across, flips it in front. Terry, shot, score! Brian Terry, and it's 7-0. I think Saratoga better put a tourniquet on to stop the bleeding here.
The wheels have certainly come off this fine club. You don't get to the state championship, the final two teams, without being a good club. And we saw this Saratoga club down in Massena, and they certainly are. But they've just run into a blitzkrieg here this afternoon, and B.J. Terry just put another nail in the coffin. Came in, broke in, got a good pass. See who picked up the assist on that one. It was Matt Reed making a good pass, and B.J. Terry to put it right between the legs of Schwartzbeck.
Massena getting the fourth line out. John Paul Janess trying to center it. Comes back to DeRocher at the point. He takes it into the corner. Centers it in behind. Rips around the boards. To the blue line. Kept in nicely by Massena's, let's see here. That's Chad Willard. But here come the Streaks. Pembroke into the Massena zone, trying to flip it ahead to Fisher. Fisher in the corner. He and Aldis go together. Willard picks up the loose puck. Flips it to DeRocher. DeRocher bounces it off the back of the net. Here comes Woodward, flipping it in behind to DeRocher. DeRocher, ahead it goes. Chad Willard, headman, following Aldis. Here comes Chris. He likes to rush it, and he flips it ahead. He goes to John Paul Janess in the corner. Janess centers. Willard shot. Trickles in front. They score again.
Number 6, Matt
Woodward. Willard passed the puck right across the goal mouth. Massena's fourth line scores against Saratoga's first line.
I'll tell you, Matt Woodward, what a thrill that's got to be for this youngster. He wasn't even on this club at the beginning of the year, but he's up here in his first shift out on the ice. John Paul Janess, Chad Willard, and Matt Woodward just gained the zone, and as you mentioned, John Paul Janess took the shot. The goaltender made the save. The rebound, it came over. This was almost identical of the sixth Raider goal, or the fifth one, I should say. And Matt Woodward parked off the corner of the crease. He just backhanded a little, had the net wide open. Schwartzbeck way off the crease.
Sanamore goes back in the net.
Well, I think Russell Schwartzbeck, I'll get it out after a while. Young Mr. Schwartzbeck had 3 shots on goal, faced 3 shots, and I think the Raiders scored 2 out of 3.
Okay, 18-2 the shots on net. Is that, how many goals is that now? That was Massena's 7th goal?
That was Massena's 7th goal, that's right.
7-0, Raiders lead it. They made the change. They initially announced LeBombard with a goal, but it was Brian Terry, and they made the change just then.
On the 6th goal.
The 6th goal, right.
The question was B.J. Terry got the great pass from Matt Reed and went in and wristed the shot. Schwartzbeck got a piece of that when it got between his legs and just trickled over the line, but they all count. And this one was reminiscent, I guess, of, I called it the 5th goal. It was a 4th goal that Josh Bamberg, go look back through whichever one Josh got where he was parked off the open side, the one that you or I could have put in. And this one, young Mr. Matt Woodward was able to park in the same spot, and when Schwartzbeck gave up the rebound, Matt just
that was Massena's 8th goal. We got behind by 1.
All righty.
I couldn't.
So did the scoreboard.
Yeah. Okay, Trevor Cameron's line out there now against the McNamara line. Dougie Adams has the puck poked away, and Adams is going to get some ice time here. Kenny Smith steals the puck, hit the side of the net. Oh, that was a little bit of a problem, but the Raiders control it in behind. Here's Adams picking up the puck. Moves it to LeBombard. LeBombard gets tied up, trying to flip it ahead. Stays with it. Here's LeBombard. Stick handling. Oh, boy, 3-on-1. Here comes LeBombard. Cross-ice pass. Chile couldn't corral it. Here's Chilton centers. Side of the net, and Sanamore covers it up. And Massena just continues to come at them. 10:55 left. Raiders lead it 8-0. And they scored 4 in the first period. We said, could they keep up the intensity? Could they?
They certainly have. 4 more here in the second. There's still 10:55 left to go in the second period, so that's a lot of intensity. A little over 4 minutes, 4 minutes and 5 seconds. They've scored 4 goals. In fact, actually, they came within 3 minutes and 36 seconds, all 4 of them.
Face off right side in the Saratoga zone. Jason Chilton ready to take the draw. Back to the blue line, goes by Adams out to center ice. Adams picks it up, turns it around, looks up ice and fanned on the clearing pass, has it knocked down, but it bounces into the corner. Here's Chili with it, rips it to LeBombard. LeBombard moving ahead to Tayo. This is a different combination. Here comes Tayo across the blue line, skates it in front, shoots, and it's blocked, gets it back again, has it poke checked into the corner by Tony Kenny. Kenny clears it to center ice. Kenny Smith rips it back in the zone. That was a pretty hard shot. Puck goes in the corner, bounces back to the blue line. Here's Doug Adams, a shot. The save, rebound, score! Josh Spanberg picks up number 2 on a rebound off a shot by Doug Adams, and it's 9-0.
Just, you got to control those rebounds. That shot came from the point, and Joey Santamore made the initial save, but gave up the big rebound. Josh Spanberg parked at least 15 feet out in front again, but he's not getting much support by his defensemen out there, forwards. They're just standing around, just mesmerized by this red wave that's just engulfed them, and gave up the rebound. Josh Spanberg just rammed it home for his second goal of the afternoon.
Off the faceoff, Spanberg again rips it in the corner. In the zone of Saratoga, here's Gladding. Gladding flips it to Chilton. Chilton digging in the corner with Gladding. It comes free to Chilton. Here comes Chili in behind the net. Circles out of the corner. Stays with it. He's still got it. Takes it round in front. The shot, they score again. Gladding on the backhand, and it's 10-0.
Well, that one just, the Raiders out-muscled Saratoga in the corner to the left of Bobby Santamore. They're just doing what they want at will and came right out of the corner, walked out in front. Jason Chilton got the initial shot, but Derek Gladding, I think, has picked up the rebound and batted it in, and that's the 10th goal. And those 6 goals have come in under 6 minutes, Jerry. Less than 6 minutes.
We talked about a team on a mission. Yes, 10-0. Massena leads with 9:48 left in the second period. And needless to say, there's a sizable Saratoga contingent here, and they're absolutely out of the game. They were out of the game after the first 4 minutes.
Jerry, I think the greatest differential in a championship game has been something like 4 goals, and that's going to be eclipsed here this afternoon.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Here's Jason Chilton trying to dig it out of the corner. Pemrick knocks it free. Andy Pemrick, very fine forward for the Saratoga team, comes down the ice. Pemrick gets knocked off the puck, looks to center, but it goes in behind. Bouncing into the corner, comes bouncing in behind the net again, around the boards. Spanberg takes a funny bounce, comes in front to Chilton, and Chilton breaks out of the zone. Looking to headman, no, he's going to keep it. Now he dumps it, bounces into the corner as Massena wants a line change. Back to the blue line, Bergeron steps off the bench, has it knocked away, trickles into the Massena zone. Joy is back to pick it up. Takes it in behind, rips it around the boards. It comes to B.J. Terry. Terry starts it out. Headman to Bergeron. Here comes Sebastian, and he can't corral it. And the puck bounces out to center ice. Gladding flips it back, not Gladding, I should say. DeRocher flips it back in the zone, back out again. Here comes Saratoga. They dump it down the ice into the Massena zone. Big check thrown there. That's the crowd reaction. Frank Joy looks to headman. Out to center ice it goes. Back into the Massena zone. Joy picks it up. Frankie with a puck now. Ahead to Bergeron to Reed. Reed gets tied up along the boards. Tries to stay with it. It's knocked away. Now DeRocher throws a check. The puck goes along the boards and into the Massena zone. In behind, Rammer stops it. Leaves it. Frank Joy. He circles. 8:12 left. Rips it around the boards. Bergeron can't control it. Here's a check thrown, and Massena moves it out, but we have a whistle. And I think, what do we got?
Well, we got an injured player who should have a penalty. He didn't call it. Let's see if he's going to call it after the fact. With no question. Oh, boy.
He shakes his head no.
Oh, he shakes his head no. I'll tell you, I'm trying to pick out the number of the Saratoga player. I'm not sure if it was Jamie Boyce or not. He dropped down. I can't see the Massena player down here. It's down in he's right along the board to our left. But he got nailed right in the face with a high stick, a combination elbow, and the official, neither one of them saw it because they didn't call it. Just prior to that, you mentioned the roar of the crowd, one of the nicest checks we've seen all year. Derek DeRocher got the Saratoga player, I believe it was Eddie Bergen, right here with his head down in the neutral zone. He gave him a beautiful hip check, and it was just a thing of beauty, just the way you teach it. Let's see who the Massena player is.
Bergeron.
Sebastian
but
Bergeron.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's tough, but he took an awful shot, and I'll tell you, that was an illegal shot, too, and the official just missed that. I will say the officiating, Jerry, the games we've seen here have been excellent.
Yes, it has. Excellent. It has been excellent. Jason Chilton will take the draw now for Massena. We got Mike and Abinett on the ice. We're going to see a lot of faces here, I think, for both teams. Everybody's going to get a chance to play now.
Yeah, the Raiders scored those 6 goals during 5 minutes and 8 seconds in the second period. 6 goals in 5 minutes and 8 seconds.
Off the face-off, in the zone. Here comes the Blue Streaks, but an Abinett is there. Mike flipping it along to LeBombard. Doesn't clear the zone. Here's a shot knocked down by Aldis. Goes into the corner. Picked up there. So they try to move it around. It goes out to center ice. And down the ice it goes. That was Gabe Weeder. Here's Tayo. Fakes the shot. Takes it in behind. He's got LeBombard. He can't quite get it to him. He tried, though. Back out to center ice. The Streaks overskate. Then they backhand it in the Massena zone. Rammer leaves it in the corner for Mike and Abinett. Bangs it ahead. Doesn't clear. Comes in behind. And Abinett throws the check. Aldis lets it go around to LeBombard. Has it taken away. In behind, they try to stick handle. Lets Weeder, flips it across the goal mouth. Comes back to the blue line. Ooh, flipped in the corner by Matt Wade. Weeder again looks to center. It's cleared in behind, and Aldis is going to take it. Here comes Chris Aldis, flipping it around the boards to Mike and Abinett. Bombard, he gets tied up. And the puck bounces free. Goes in the circle. Tayo after it there, gets tied up. And it's kicked ahead. Tayo can't control it. And finally it trickles to the blue line and out to center ice. As winding up for the shot was McNamara, and he flipped it off his stick out to center ice. Puck back in the Massena zone again. Here's Mike and Abinett. Circles, ahead to Tayo. He catches it to Chilton. Here comes Chile, has the puck poke checked away. McNamara again turns it around. He takes it across. That's Christian. Nice move. Gets a shot off, but it's wide. Comes to Tayo. Tayo flips it out to center ice. Matt Wade dumps it back in the Massena zone. We had an offsides as the puck went on net. And trying to get out of the zone was Christian. He couldn't. 6:20 left. Second period. Raiders lead it 10-0 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard.
Coach Bobby Santamore and his staff done a super job. When you get a club to this far to get the championship game and the state, finals of the state championship, just a super job. But he's going to have a tough job here with the remaining period in 6 minutes and 20 seconds just to keep his club the intensity up, tell them to play good, clean hockey and work hard.
Saratoga called for controlling the puck with a high stick, which will move the face-off. Well, they're going to leave it right where it happened. Normally they take it down to the other end, don't they?
Jerry, I'm the most surprised guy. I expected to see a real close hockey game here this afternoon, and I can't believe this.
Oh, boy, here comes John Paul Jeunesse, stick handling in the corner. And Jeunesse trying to swipe it in front, but it's knocked away. Pat Hull with it. Hull loses it to Jeunesse again. He goes back to Kenny Smith at the point. It's knocked off his stick. Here comes an opportunity for Saratoga. But guess who's going to get there first? Kenny Smith. And he just turned on the Jets. Clears the puck to center ice. Here comes a chance. And the goaltender, Santamore, comes out of his net. And there's going to be a penalty. And Willard's going to get called for the penalty. And I'm not sure if he should. And now he gets railed from behind. And tempers are flying. The officials, though, stop it immediately and break it up before anything can happen. They're going to have matching minors, I'm sure now, as Saratoga retaliated. They would have had a power play, but they retaliated.
Well, you hate to see that, but, it's understandable when you're 10-0 behind 10-0 in a championship game. Your ego's bruised, your pride is bruised, and
Captain's coming over to talk to the official. I think they're going to claim he was way out of his crease and fair game. But they just don't allow that to happen.
Right. Once you leave that crease, you are, you're just another player. But, again, to get back to that Kenny Smith play, Scott Christian had 2 strides on him. At least 2, maybe 2.5. And Kenny Smith caught him from between the red line and the blue line, made up those 2.5 strides. And Scott Christian is a forward. He's a pretty decent forward on this line out here.
So there's going to be matching minors. which will be a wash here. And again, technically that's not a penalty, but they always call it. If you hit the goalie, no matter where he is, they always call it.
And look up at the scoreboard, 21 shots, 10 goals. That's a pretty good ratio, 10 out of 21. Not quite 500, but, ooh, that's something.
Now the officials are talking to the two captains, Andy Pemrick and Chris Aldis. And Jason Chilton's over there floating around as well. And the Senate, I think the face-off is, I would say, I don't know where it's going to be. Now they're discussing things, and I'm not sure what they're doing here.
I really think this is much to do about nothing.
Yeah,
it's
really.
Taken a lot longer to sort out a simple little penalty than what's, Now
they're gonna get going. And Chilton is talking to Tim Long, and I'm not sure. Oh, he's got a problem with his face mask.
One thing we know, Saratoga is going to have, looks like a man advantage because they've got 5 white shirts out there, and whoops, the Raiders are going to have 5 also. They're going to, I guess it's a wash.
They both got double minors.
Double minors, okay. It took a long time to sort that out.
Yeah, okay. Face-off will be top of the circle in the Massena zone. Dougie Adams with the puck rips it around the boards for Spanberg. Josh trying to flip it ahead. It's knocked down in front, and somehow Rammer kept it out of the net. Here's a shot from the blue line, high, rides the puck boards all the way out to center ice. Dump back in the zone. Adams with it, flips it ahead, has it knocked away, comes back inside Massena territory. Kenny Smith with it. Smith rips it for Adams. Adams going to start out left side, right to Chilton. 3-on-2. Here comes Chilton, the Spanberg. Spanberg drops for Chili. Chili winds up. His shot, save made. Rebound. Gladding was cruising and couldn't get it. Puck bounces out to center ice. Kenny Smith at the red line. Cranks it back in the zone. Picked up there on the defense by Sean Murray. He bangs it off the boards all the way back in the Massena zone. Smith is there. How many times have I said Smith is there? Here's a shot, and the save made. Well, I'm not sure if that was on the net. They're going to call a penalty on Saratoga for the same thing, hitting the goalie. Only that time, Rammer was right in his net.
No question, and a good call by the official. Number 9, Andy Pemrick, skated across the crease and gave the Massena goaltender, Mike Ramsdale, a little shot, and the official right there, boy, good call. And you want to make those calls because in this situation, 10-0, if you let it go, it could become an explosive situation. One team starts to retaliate, and so you got to really clamp down. But
10-0, Massena leads on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Raiders looking for the state championship here. Now we've got an interesting, we've got the third line out on the power play here. We got to stop calling him first, second, third because it really doesn't make any difference. There's the ping pong puck in the Saratoga bench. It bounced around, didn't hit anybody, fortunately, and they'll face it off in Saratoga's half of neutral ice.
If we knew their colors in practice, you don't call them first, second, or third unit. You call them green unit, blue unit, red unit, whatever they wear, but they certainly are interchangeable. There's no 1, 2, or 3.
Now Terry gets hauled down, but they let that go. And the puck controlled by the Streaks in their own end. They knock it to center ice. Bergeron knocked it out of the air. Here comes Massena. Matt Reed in the corner now. Steps by the check. Skates right in front. Shoots. Fired it just wide. Bergeron after the rebound in the corner. Joy pinches in. Flips it. In behind for Sebastian. Sebastian to Terry. Terry back to Sebastian. Sebastian to Terry. High slot. Back to Sebastian. Back to the point. Ping pong Poe. And the puck bounces in front. Santamore dives out and grabs it. As Massena just moving that puck around. Bang, bang, bang on the power play. We're down to 4:13 left in the second period.
Matt Wade, good. He's 6'2", 185. Good sound defenseman for the Blue Streaks. Matt Reed just turned him inside out.
Here comes the puck to Reed. Back to the point. DeRocher fakes the shot. Goes to Reed. Top of the circle. He steps in. Flips it side of the net. Brian Terry after it. Terry comes out of the corner. Looks for Reed in front. It bounces free. And Bergeron was going in after it. But it did come free, but the whistle had blown as Santamore had it covered up for a second.
You mentioned this unit out here on the power play. They've been the catalyst here today. They got the Raiders' first 2 goals off and in a big start. In fact, they've come up with at least 3 goals that I'm sure of. The first 2, and then also B.J. Terry picked up the 7th goal, I do believe. So they've really got the Raiders off and running.
Face off inside Saratoga territory. Massena leads 10-0 on the Corky's scoreboard. Terry in after it. In behind the net. Bounces by him. Now after Bergeron. Gets a piece of it, but it's flipped down the ice. by Sean Murray. Rammer stops it, leaves it for Frankie Joy. Here's Joy. Gets tied up in behind, but the puck comes free to Reed. Matt Reed skates out of the circle, out of the center, to the center ice zone, takes it across the blue line, does the dipsy doodle, and gets tripped up from behind, but no call. Sean Murray comes up with it. Murray trying to clear the puck himself. He's got a man breaking, but he waited too long and then fired it too hard down the ice. And we're back to even Steven here. Reed drops it for Frankie Joy. Joy's going to skate it out. Not much of a forecheck anymore for Saratoga. Reed upended at the blue line. Flip back ahead. DeRocher breaks that up. Bergeron drops it to Joy, to DeRocher. DeRocher bangs it to Bergeron. No, he missed him, and icing will be the call. As Bergeron waved at it on the way by, but it went by him down the ice. 10-0, Raiders lead. They lead in shots on net 23-7, and I think that's generous. A couple of those shots I think were wide.
I agree with you, Jerry. And you mentioned not much of a forecheck. Whatever the Blue Streaks have tried to do, the Raiders have just countermanded it. They've come up to the side. They've got defense to defense, and when they've shut off both sides, they've come out the middle so easily here this afternoon.
Off the faceoff, Cameron moves it along the boards, flips it to Nabonet. He goes on the other side to Tayo. Tayo just leaves it. Out to center ice to Cameron. Here comes Cameron. Cameron ahead to LeBombard. Bomber gets by one, by two, tries the shot and fanned on it. Here's LeBombard flipping it in behind for Aldis. What's he doing there? Chris Aldis moves it back toward the blue line, spins around, has it knocked away, but Pye tries to poke it in. LeBombard. Here's LeBombard. Winds up his shot. Oh, he hit Santamore with it in the face. Santamore makes the save. Now Tayo checking in the corner. Throws the check. Steals it. Looks to center it. Aldis at the point. He sprawls by, and down the ice come the Blue Streaks. They just shovel it in the Massena zone. Mike Nabonet cranks it up. Oh, takes a funny bounce in front of the net. Cameron had to be quick to flip it ahead. Now LeBombard has it wrapped away. Comes back to the blue line. Here's a chance for Fisher. Fisher wide in the corner. Can't get any skating room. Now Aldis takes him down, and we're going to have a penalty for holding. Yeah, it was a takedown, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Jerry, I'm not questioning, but the official who called that was on the opposite side of the ice, 95 feet away. The other official was 6 feet away. In fact, closer than that. He didn't decide. He felt it wasn't a penalty, and that's kind of showing up your fellow official, I think, on that one.
They opened both boxes up, but it is Aldis' penalty, and Massena will be killing here with 1:54 left in the second period. 10-0 Massena.
One thing you have to be careful of as an official, you can't start inventing penalties even though the clubs had 10-0.
Off the face-off, puck bouncing around in neutral ice, and we're going to have a carry, or handling the puck, or whatever you want to call it.
Let me explain that in the sense, I mean, you let the game play. You just because one team is up 10-0, don't start fabricating penalties. And again, the official right on the spot
didn't call it.
Didn't call a thing.
It was a questionable call. 10-0 off the face-off. Saratoga trying to control it, but Chilton steals. He drops it. Adams bounces to Kenny Smith, and he cranks it down the ice. Saratoga picking it up. They move it into the zone. Chile breaks it up. Kenny Smith waved at it. It bounced over his stick in the corner. Fisher after it. We have a whistle. And Pemrick's going to get a high stick call. I did not see that. Or an elbow, excuse me.
What had happened, he nailed Dougie Adams prior to that and really rang his bell, and there wasn't any call. And the play came out of the zone. And I was watching number 22, Doug Adams, keeping an eye on Pemrick, and he came up to give him a check, line him up with a clean check. Pemrick saw him coming and got the elbow right up in his face.
Okay. So now we're skating even again, but it's 4-on-4 because the penalties didn't come at the same time. We don't see 4-on-4 as often as I'd like. Here is Doug Adams in the zone, flips to Kenny Smith, looks up ice, trickles it ahead. Intercepted. Chilton takes a wave at it, can't control it. Back comes Saratoga. Here's the drive. Field goal attempt. That's right through the uprights.
Again, Charlie Fisher, we saw him down home have the hat trick. He's a blue chipper, and he can really crank him up. And he launched that one from about 45 feet away. And fortunately for Mike Ramsdale, hit a stick and went up over the glass. But again, that line of Marsh, Fisher, and Pembroke are blue chippers, and they just been taken right out of this hockey game.
Trevor Cameron to take the face-off against Marsh. And it's just inside the Massena zone. Off the draw, bouncing puck cleared back in, delay offsides. But Massena controls. Kenny Smith. He hit Trevor Cameron in the back. Trevor comes back for it. Here's Trevor circling at his blue line. Skates it out of the zone, gets tied up, moves it along the blue line, gets it back again, steps by the check. Here comes Trevor. Loses it again, is knocked off the puck. There's going to be a delay offsides again. Massena clears, or I should say Saratoga clears. They dump it in on Rammer, and he makes the save. Again, that's the kind of saves he's had to make. Here comes Massena out to center ice. The Panther with it, takes it across, right through traffic, has it knocked away. Adams skates in, they both overskate. He tries to flip it, but we got matching minors as Cameron mixed it up with somebody on the Blue Streak team. That was Charlie Fisher, I think, and they're both going to go to the box, and they're going to be real careful with the rest of this game.
Exactly, till some of the feistiness. Again, it's understandable. Saratoga, they're certainly not, the Raiders aren't 10 goals better than Saratoga. Although here today we look up on the scoreboard and it's 10-0. The way Massena's playing, I just haven't seen them play all year long, and unfortunately for the Blue Streaks, they happen to be the picked the wrong day to show up in the championship. But again, the officials have to be right on their toes.
Massena still in the power play. Here's LaBombard's shot wide and high. Tayo trying to dig it out of the corner to Chilton, centering pass. LaBombard couldn't get it. It was bouncing. Back to Frankie Joy at the point. Flips it in behind the net. Here's Chili. Chili gets checked, but the puck comes to Tayo. Tayo can't control. Rips around the boards. That'll take care of the period right there. And the whistle blows. The buzzer sounds. And Massena scores 6 in the second to take a 10-0 lead. And we'll be going to the third period with the Raiders leading it 10-0. And I'll tell you what, well, I guess the score can speak for itself, can it?
Yeah, it sure can, Jerry. And again, here at the get to this level, sectionals, quarters, finals, semis, they have extra officials, minor officials, and they man the penalty boxes. And as soon as the horn goes, they both jump out on the ice and they direct each team to the respective locker rooms. Just to diffuse any type of possible explosive situation, which I'm sure wouldn't happen anyway.
Okay.
They got to the finals and they got beat by Ithaca. But
okay.
He's been here. This is he wanted this championship ring. Coach Long was here last year, and Coach Jovan Marsh. Of course, they when he got out of school, they didn't have state championships, but these three coaches have done an outstanding job, and they're certainly going to bring home that banner here this afternoon. And Coach Hart couldn't get one as a player, but he's got one as his first year as a varsity hockey coach up here at Massena.
Of course, this was supposed to be a rebuilding year for Massena. At least that's what they said. But Massena, they lose 14 seniors last year, something like that. But Massena's the kind of team where it's a senior-junior dominated team. They're always going to lose a lot of seniors. They're going to lose a lot of seniors this year. But the Massena Minor Hockey Association is so strong and has done such a good job over the years of providing players for the high school team that they've always got good players stepping in. And, you talk about Frankie Joy, who's just a youngster stepping in as a soft. Josh Spanberg. Matt Reed is a freshman. So, they stepped in and did the job this year. Matt Reed had the first 2 goals of the game, and what a contributor he has been all year. And Massena, again, the depth has been the difference in every game, as they have been able to send out 3 lines, and today they've used the 4th line as well with, they've had a chance to get them out there, but they've been able to 1-2-3, 1-2-3, and there has been no matching of lines. Timmy Long, the coach, feels comfortable with Matt Reed's line out against anybody, with Trevor Cameron's line out against anybody, with Jason Chilton line out against anybody.
And they've got some horses coming. That Bantam Club, I think they're down in the sectionals this weekend. Glens Falls. There's something like 42-2-3. Just an outstanding record, and they've got some good potential.
And I saw the Pee Wee team. They won the Northern Zone sectionals last weekend. In fact, I had a chance to do a game, and they've got some stars, because that's a team that Matt Reed played on last year. So they've got some kids on that team.
So that cup is not half empty; it's always half full.
That's a very good way to put it. We're about ready to go to the third period. Jason Chilton steps into the faceoff circle. Massena has a 7-second power play as we go to the start of the third period. Off the face, it comes to Doug Adams. Adams to Kenny Smith. Flips ahead to Chilton at the red line. Here comes Chili. Winds it from the blue line. Field goal attempt is high. Spanberg in behind. Digs it out. Goes back to Adams at the point. Adams just shovels one wide. Puck goes bouncing into the corner. Kenny Smith keeps it in. Nice job. Centering pass in front. Here's a chance for Gladding. Centers to Spanberg. Spanberg drops it back to the point. Trying to get Josh his hat trick. What do you think? Here's Gladding in the corner. Chilton has it poked away. Josh picks it up. Back to the blue line. Adams cranks it. Shot knocked down. Ooh, that was a blast. Kenny Smith waves at it, trying to keep it in, and he does keep it in. Puck in the corner now, digging for it is Gladding. Has it whipped away to the blue line. Kenny Smith, yes, keeps it in. Here's Spanberg, overskates it, knocked away, and finally, does it go out to center ice? No! Gladding keeps it in, trying to center. Now finally it does come out to center ice. Here's Doug Adams with it, flips it in the zone, and the Streaks move it down the ice to the Massena line. Adams again, flips it ahead. His pass intercepted. Dump back inside Massena territory. Adams will chase it down. Rips it around the boards for Spanberg. Spanberg drops to Kenny Smith to Chilton. Chilton breaks it out of the zone. Here comes Jason, the big captain. What a year he's had, his senior year for Massena. Has the puck poked away, but kicks it back to the blue line to Tayo as Massena changing lines. Now Tayo rubbed off the play. The puck comes free in behind the net, and it's picked up, and there's going to be a penalty.
I think it's going to be a slashing call, and it's going to go against number 16 of the Blue Streaks, and that's Gabe Weeder. And the officials, I'm sure, are just going to be eagle-eyeing any little infraction, I'll tell you. You mentioned that shot from the point by Dougie Adams, and it was a howitzer. He's a big one. Mike's brother, who had such a fine career at Massena, and he's 6'3" and 180. He can really crank him up.
Here's LeBombard. Massena on the power play to Inhabitant, gets it right back again. Centering pass in front. Tayo can't to Aldis. He shoots it, and a save is made, and a nice one. Nice pass work by Massena.
Oh, God.
Now the puck dumped in the Massena zone. Massena on the power play here. And although the game looks like they've been on the power play.
Now, Jerry, as a coach, you want to save your best for last, but this is unbelievable how well this team has played here this afternoon. It just,
it's like the peak. You got to peak at the right time.
They couldn't play any better, and it's not just one or two individuals. It's not the forwards. It's everyone, all the forwards, all the D, everyone. And the big guy back there has been so strong all year long. Hasn't been tested much, but
here comes the Blue Streaks as they move it in the zone, in the corner. Back to the point. Here's the drive, wide. And it's picked up by LeBombard. He's going to drop it back to Inhabitant. Inhabitant skates it. Headman, right on the stick of Cameron, to Tayo. Tayo takes it by the defense. Here comes Mark, looks up. Does that so well. Circles in the corner. Nobody picks him up. He skates it in behind the net. Here's Tayo looking. He's got LeBombard. Oh, nice pass, but it went just by him. And here come the Streaks back out to center ice. Into the Massena zone. Aldis throws a check, and the Streak player probably wishes he hadn't. Back comes Tayo. Here's Cameron, the Panther. Across, cranks it. The shot to save. Oh, that was a howitzer.
Oh, boy, was it ever. From about 45 feet out, the Panther streaking down that right side, and what a season he's had.
Yeah.
And he just, in fact, the goaltender is in pain. He's got all that padding on, but it took him right in the midsection.
That's Schwartzbeck again.
Schwartzbeck, Russell's back in air.
Yeah.
He's probably wishing he wasn't, because he just got drilled with a cannon by Trevor Cameron.
Here's B.J. Terry. He's rubbed off the play. The puck comes free in behind. Here's Bergeron in front to Terry. Terry flips it back to DeRocher. Oh, nice move. DeRocher winds up. He just fires it wide. Bergeron centers it in front. Knocked down. Terry digs it out from behind, gets tied up. And the Streaks rip it down the ice. And they're going to wave the icing off, even though the penalty has elapsed. But they wave the icing off, and DeRocher flips it to Frankie Joy. Joy moves it up along the boards. Terry, trying to get it out of the zone, gets tied up. And they jam for it. It finally trickles to center ice. Streaks dump it back in the zone. It comes to DeRocher. in behind his net. He starts it ahead, bangs it, and did it go? Oh, I thought it went up into the stands, but it didn't. It trickles down into the Saratoga zone. Picked up there, back down the ice it goes. It's going to be a shot on net from very long range. How long is the rink? 200 feet?
This one is it wasn't 185 last year, Jerry. They just
expanded
lengthened
it, haven't they?
This year, 15 feet.
Yeah. Here's the bouncing shot, goes in the corner. Massena leads it 10-0 on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard. Frankie Joy leads the attack. Oh, looking for Bergeron. Good play made to break up that pass. Comes to the Massena line. Here comes Willard. Willard pokes it ahead to Bergeron. To Willard. He's got a breakaway. He breaks in front. Shot. Save made. And rebound, whistle, and a nice save made by Russell Schwartzbeck on Chad Willard. What a pass by Bergeron to send him in all by himself.
What an addition. What a plus this Sebastian Bergeron is to this Massena team. He's the hard luck guy around the... although he's had... Sebastian's come up with, 12 goals this year, but he just works, and it was just outstanding hustle right there to send his teammate in with that pass.
Here's Willard in the corner, looking to center, goes off a stick, out to center ice. Here comes Andy Pemrick. Pemrick trying to go by Kenny Smith, and he does. Here's Pemrick, breaks in front, takes it around, looks to wrap it, knocked down, they fire it high and wide. Good opportunity there, and Pemrick just used his size against Kenny Smith. Now the puck in the corner. Rammer gets a piece of it. It's knocked free. They center it again. Goes in behind off the stick of Kenny Smith. Smith flips it ahead. Here comes Massena's Matt Woodward. Woodward's got John Paul Jeunesse, but he's going to take it across. He's going to break in. Woodward corrals it, and a nice sprawling poke check by one of the defenders. No, that was Jordan Marsh, breaks it up. Here's Kenny Smith. Smith centers in front. The shot. Woodward, the save made. The rebound in the slot. Finally, it's covered up for the face-off. And tell you, this fourth line is just out there digging. They've already got a goal, and they want another one.
The best scoring opportunity of the afternoon for the Saratoga Blue Streaks, and Andy Pemrick streaking down that left side, shifted gears and went around Kenny Smith, and then went in behind the net. He went in behind the net and looked to wrap around. As he did, Mike Ramsdell made the save, and Charlie Fisher right off the crease missed a wide open net.
An Abinett shot from the blue line is gloved high and gloved easily by Russell Schwartzbeck, and we'll do it again. And it's tough for Rammer now. He hasn't been busy at all, and when they come down and have a good opportunity, it's tough to be sharp.
And when things go wrong, Charlie Fisher, that sharpshooter, he's not going to miss many wide open nets like that, but he had the whole net and he put it up over the top.
Face off again in the Saratoga zone. Now they're checking Schwartzbeck's glove is faulty.
It's probably hot from the amount of rubber that's been fired at that Saratoga net.
The official shots on net are 29-7.
29-7, and the attempts probably...
I don't even want it. Probably about 40, maybe
more than that. About 75.
Oh, okay. Off the face-off, back to the point. Here's another attempt. It's deflected in behind the net. Digging after it is Josh Spanberg. Drops it back to the blue line, and Abinett keeps it in. Goes to Chili in the corner. He steps by the check, throws the check. It comes to Gladding. Gladding turns it around behind, has it poked away to the blue line, and it trickles down the ice. Bouncing into the Massena zone. Chris Aldis is there to corral it. He starts it out. Oh, here we go. No, he's going to head man to Spanberg. Oh, Spanberg just got checked and lost his stick. Goaltender Schwartzbeck is way out of his net to play it into the corner. Around the boards it goes. Saratoga looking. Oh, Chilton. Oh, just a hard check by Jason. The puck squirts free to the side of the net and is picked up on the defense by the Streaks. Now Chilton trying to come up with it. He can. Now he does at center ice. Jason circles it, takes it back in, has it poked away, and Abinett stepping in front of it. They both wave at it and miss it, and Gladding has it. Gladding gets knocked down. And here come the Streaks. They're going to have a 2-on-1. Well, they would have if they had passed it better, but it's down the ice, and Mike and Abinett chases it down, flips it to Josh Spanberg. Spanberg moves it ahead to center ice. Here comes Chilton. Has it knocked away. And Abinett trying to keep it in the zone. He's fighting for it at the blue line. Chilton helps out and flips it in the zone. In behind the net, Matt Wade. He's a good-sized boy. He picks it up, moves it ahead. Here's Scott Christian across the blue line. Centering pass, Tayo steals it. Here comes Mark. Mark ahead to Chilton. Jason down the middle, looks, takes it in behind. Here's Chilton, centering pass, knocked down. Puck bounces to the blue line, kept in by LeBombard. Oh boy, in the corner. The Streaks just want to clear. Tayo keeps it in. Here's Tayo looking to center. And LeBombard was turned around, couldn't get the shot, but he keeps the puck in the zone. Now it's finally out to center ice. Here comes Tim McNamara. McNamara in his own zone, makes a good shift, but he's taken out of the play by Joy. Cameron, ahead to LeBombard. Okay, Brian busting down one-on-one, has it poke checked from behind, but stays with it. Picking it up, though, is Wade. Wade circles in the corner. Cameron throws the check. The puck comes out of the blue line. DeRocher couldn't keep it in. Now the Streaks just backhanded in the Massena zone. Frank Joy is there. Halfway through the third period, Raiders lead 10-0 on the Pete scoreboard. Cameron does a shift, takes it by the D, wraps it in behind. Trevor with it, back to the point. Joy winds up. His shot, kick save made. Almost got the official with that one on the rebound, and Saratoga clears it. Here comes Sebastian Bergeron chasing it down. Sebi picks up the puck, falls down, trying to make the move. It's picked up by DeRocher. DeRocher takes it across into the corner, has it knocked off his stick as he's rubbed off the puck. In behind, it's Tony Kenny. Kenny flips it around the boards as they try to clear. That's Bolster. Bolster loses to Tayo in front, but it's poked off his stick to DeRocher at the red line. He winds it up, dumps it back in. Massena gets onside. 6:38. Raiders lead. Oh, the puck almost stolen by Bergeron in front. Here's Sebastian in the corner. Can't keep it in. Kenny Smith dumps it in the corner again. In behind, picked up by the Blue Streaks as they move it out to center ice. Here comes Kenny, firing one wide. Racing for it in the corner, Scott Christian. Smith knocks him well off the puck. And the puck, here's a wraparound. Oh, big save for Rammer. Nice wraparound attempt there by Scott Christian. And Mike Ramsdell comes up with a big save to preserve the shutout.
And Scotty Christian really upset with himself. He said, how did he keep that one out? Boy, when things go wrong. And I want to full marks to this Saratoga coaching staff, Bobby Santamore, keeping these youngsters down by 10 goals, but he's got them. They're out there playing hockey, keeping the sticks down, and working as hard as they can. That says a lot for a program.
Jordan Marsh right in front. Oh, they fire it wide. Big opportunity for Saratoga. And again, it just won't go. Here comes Massena's Kenny Smith, moving it ahead. Bergeron to Reed, off his stick, trickles right in on Schwartzbeck, and he sticks it into the corner. Here's B.J. Terry trying to go to Reed, flipped around the boards. Pemrick moves it to center ice. Adams whacks at it, back in the zone, back out again. It comes to Reed, didn't see it. Pemrick, Kenny Smith steps in front of it, flips it ahead, bounces back to Kenny Smith. He flips it ahead again. Goes into the Saratoga zone. Reed trying to throw the check, but it comes out to center ice. B.J. Terry picks it up, dumps it back in the zone, and he gets dumped by Charlie Fisher. Puck in behind. Now a check by Bergeron. Oh, he spins around, gets a shot off. Nice save by Schwartzbeck. I'll tell you what, Bergeron steals again. The wraparound attempt. Folks, I wish you could be here to see this.
He knows only one amount, one speed, and that's work hard, whether it's you're up 10-0 or behind 10-0. Number 10, Sebastian Bergeron, he's coming to the bench, and I'll tell you, all the guys are giving him a pat on the head, not because he came close to getting a goal, just for that hard effort and leading by example out there. And I'll tell you, that stuff rubs off.
John Paul Genest out there with Willard and Woodward for Massena. Off the face-off, puck back in the Streak zone. Back after it is Pat Hull. Wraps it around the boards, and Avenett keeps it in. Flips it in the corner. Woodward digging for it. He's rubbed off the play. Around behind the net it goes. Down, and here comes Fisher with it. Has it boxed away. Still in the zone, apparently. I thought they got it out, but didn't. Here's Woodward with it, trying to stick handle, but it's taken away by Jordan Marsh. Marsh rounds the boards with it. Aldis will look to keep it in, and I guess he did. Here's Chad trying to keep it out. Now here comes Pemrick going down on Mike and Avenett. Here's Pemrick. Oh, makes the dipsy doodle, and an Avenett steals the puck. Oh, boy. Gets a big hand from the Massena fans. Mike and Avenett, and there's going to be an injured player. Is that John Paul Genest down in the corner? But nice job by Mike and Avenett. Super job. And, hey, what can I say?
John Paul Janess down in the corner. I don't know what happened to him. Coach Long is out there, but getting back to that play with just Mike and Avenant one-on-one with Andy Pemrick, and Pemrick is a good one. He thought he turned Mike inside out, but Mike stayed right with him, and a one-on-one won that battle. Just an excellent job by Mike and Avenant. I don't know if we got a penalty or not.
I don't think so. 4:32 left in the period, third period, 10-0 Massena. The Massena Red Raiders, they've been waiting for this for quite a while. And it's going to taste rather sweet, I think.
I agree with you, Jerry. State championship, something the youngsters will remember the rest of their lives.
There's something about this team. It was a real team this year, and it really was a super effort. Here comes Chilton with it, drops it for Frankie Joy. Now here's a good story. Frank Joy, he was a youngster. He came on the team. He had a lot to learn when we started out, but boy has he learned. And he's been a big contributor to this Massena cause. Here's
there's
Chilton.
been 23 that have contributed, and all in one manner or another. At times they had players out, sickness, flu, injuries, things like that, but great leadership out there, guys like Trevor Cameron and Jason Chilton, Chris Aldis, the captains out there. It just was infectious.
Here comes Spanberg, to Gladding to Spanberg. Josh comes up with a puck, tries to kick it to himself. Oh, he just got railed, but stays with it. Comes back to the blue line. It's flipped. Here's Spanberg trying to go to Gladding. We have a whistle.
And, Jerry, there's the type of leadership right there. The Saratoga player took a cheap shot at Josh Spanberg and just hit him with it was a cheap shot. I know he's got, and Jason Chilton did not allow that to happen. He just, in return, he drilled the Saratoga player. Now, this is
Derek Gladding gets a penalty.
Well, I don't know if there's going to be a penalty on it, but Jason Chilton just has done this all year long. He's not going to allow that to happen to one of his teammates.
They gave DeRocher a major penalty on that. I didn't even see that one.
I didn't either. I was keen on number 16. They missed a penalty on the Saratoga player. I can't even recall the number now, but he gave Josh Spanberg an elbow right in the face.
Off the face-off, puck inside Saratoga zone. They move it back out. Kenny Smith backs into his own zone, then flips it ahead for Cameron. Back into the Saratoga zone. They dump it down the ice. Tayo after it. Mark circles, gets knocked off the puck, trying to stay with it. Bounces in front. They got a chance, a short side shot, and just as cool as a cucumber, Mike Ransdell puts a glove out, and it's in the glove.
3:26 left to go in this state championship, Division I, and the Massena Red Raiders are going to bring the title back north, and this is a dual victory for Section 10. Canton Golden Bears prevailing in the first game 4-2 over the LaSalle Institute Cadets.
Tim McNamara takes the face-off. Here's the shot. Rammer makes that save. That was a weak shot. Came right up chest high, and we'll do it all over again. Massena's going to be down for the rest of the game, shorthanded. And they are leading in shots on net 30-11. Off the face-off, back to the point. Here's the drive. Goes way wide. And it's poked to the blue line, but not out. Kept in. They've got a chance in front. The shot goes wide into the corner. I think it deflected. Bouncing puck, controlled by the Streaks in behind. Whips around the boards. Tile picks it up. Kenny Smith, and he just dumps it. Down the ice it goes. In behind. It's picked up there by the big defenseman Wade, his head man. Across the blue line. Here's a weak shot right on, and Rammer makes the save and holds on for the faceoff.
And again, 2 minutes 46 seconds left to go in this hockey game, and what a performance here this afternoon by the Massena Red Raiders. I don't know what Saratoga could do. They no fault to their own. Massena just came out in that first period and just were awesome.
Face-off inside Massena territory. As we mentioned, Saratoga on the power play. Here's a save. Rebound goes bouncing into the corner. Shot right off the draw. Puck knocked away by Tayo. Has it knocked away. Here's a shot, another save. And all of a sudden, the shot total is going to get higher on this power play. But it bounces back to the blue line, kept in at the point. In the corner it goes. Kenny with it, has it knocked away in behind. Tayo, Mark, flips it out to center ice, and it runs down the ice. In behind it goes. Back to pick it up is Sean Murray. Down to 2:10. Murray bounces it to the Massena blue line. Here come the Streaks into the zone. They try to flip it through. They got a man in front, but it's knocked away down the ice again. Like I said, it was a major penalty to DeRocher for high sticking, and I didn't see it, I got to admit. But Massena will be playing shorthanded for the rest of this game. Here's Mike Abenett. Flips it back out to center ice. Here's Chilton. Drops it to Aldis. Aldis lifts it back into the Saratoga zone. About a minute and a half to play. Raiders lead it 10-0. I think there's going to be an explosion from the red bench here in just a moment, Dave. Puck back in the Massena zone. Mike Abenett, ooh, he just takes a heavy check. They center it in front. It's knocked away by the captain out to center ice. Minute 17. Dumping it back in the zone. Mike Abenett winds up, cranks it down the ice. Picked up there by Jordan Marsh. Marsh moves it ahead. The Streaks take it across. Into the zone, it's Charlie Fisher. Fisher, in behind, tries a short side shot. No good. Save made. Puck bouncing in front, and Marsh couldn't get the shot out. Now Pemrick goes after it in the corner. Pemrick and Aldis wins the battle and flips it ahead. Just sheer strength. And LaBombard backhands it down the ice. We're down to 38 seconds left. LaBombard streaking in the zone. He flips it in the corner. He's going to go in after it. Puck in behind. LaBombard throws the check. 28 seconds left and counting. Here comes Charlie Fisher. Fisher down ice. Fisher gets taken out of the play. The puck is Aldis, and Rammer's going to cover it up as it trickles to the side of the net. And now Pemrick and Joy have a little set too.
Jerry, there's only been two shutouts since 80 when the championship started. The Raiders were involved in one in 82. They shut out Rye 7-0. And then we had that classic in 1990 when West Genesee beat Albany Academy in triple overtime 1-0. But we're 17 seconds away from the third one.
Face-off will be in the Massena zone. Matt Reed out to take the draw. Off the face-off, here's the shot, Rammer save.
15 seconds away from one.
Jordan Marsh again will face. He's a good face-off man.
Blue Streaks, they're battling right to the wire.
Off the draw. The bouncing puck. They bang at it. It comes free. Aldis looks up, waits, flips it ahead. Here comes Reed. Dumps it. Saratoga 2-1. The Raiders win it 10-0. They are the New York State Division I high school hockey champions. Massena wins it in convincing fashion 10-0. And they are just mobbing everybody on the ice. What an exciting day it is for Massena hockey as they went through the season. There are only two losses coming in overtime, one to the Saratoga team, the other to the Division II state champion Canton Golden Bears, and Massena wins it 10-0.
And we said at the end of the Canton game, the poor victorious goaltender receives the brunt of all the well wishes of his teammates just piling on top, and Mike Ramsdell down at the bottom of that mass of humanity down to our right, and Massena Red Raiders, certainly in convincing fashion, as you said. But full credit to Saratoga. They didn't stop battling right here at the end, down 10 goals, and they were working as hard as they could. But unfortunately for them, they ran into a team today that probably could not play any better. I don't think they could play any better than they did today, Jerry.
I
no
agree
way.
with you, Dave. They were just super. So Massena wins it on a score of 10-0. The Massena Red Raiders just dominated the hockey game from start to finish. They win it 10-0. They're the New York State Division I state champions, the Massena Red Raiders. And that is our hockey game. Again, the final score, Massena 10, Saratoga no score. Stay tuned for the post-game show on WMSA.
How many are you going to do for the post-game?
First 5.
Excuse me?
Look at Louis.
Number 5, Bill Yates. Number 6, Scott Strisky. Number 7, John Murray. Number 9, Andy Singer. Number 12, Eddie Berger.
Okay, coming up in 3, 2, 1. Time now for the Red Raider post-game show on WMSA, brought to you by Frenchie's Chevrolet Oldsmobile on East Orvis Street in Massena. Stop in and see the little Frenchie for a great deal on new Chevys, Oldsmobiles, and great used cars. And for AAA service, Frenchie's Chevrolet Oldsmobile. The score says it all. Massena 10 and Saratoga 0.
Yeah, Jerry, run out of words. There's no question. Just the finest performance that Massena has put on this year. And we've seen them put on some pretty fine performances. But this was just one word, awesome. That's all I can say. Saratoga, a fine club. As we said before, you do not get to the championship of the state tournament, Division I, without being an outstanding club. And they were just... They had the socks blown off here this afternoon. Raiders came right out, and from the opening get-go, they were after Saratoga like a hungry dog after a bone, and they just swarmed into that offensive zone and just relentless line after line after line. They just did not give Saratoga any breathing room at all. No matter what they tried to do, Massena just smothered them. And maybe tomorrow, if these two teams play tomorrow, possibly it could be a different outcome. But I tell you, Massena was not going to be denied here this afternoon.
Not this year. No, Massena, a bitter loss last year in the finals in overtime to a team they probably should have beaten, Suffern Mounties. But this year, they go all the way. And they really, I know Coach Tim Long had a game plan all season long, and the Raiders progressed. They had a couple of tough games. The sectional final with Potsdam was a tough game. Massena wins 2-0. Of course, that quarterfinal game with Oswego was the toughest game probably they played all year. Won that 3-2 on a 7-second left goal by Brian LeBombard. Last night, not as tough, but a tough game. Aquinas is a quality team. 4-2 victory there. Here, this was the culmination. And if you're going to fire on all cylinders in one game, you want to do it in the championship, and boy, did they.
And they all fired, all cylinders. You just look down. The Chilton line, 7 points. The Cameron line, 5 points. The Reed line, we refer to them as the trump card all year long. They just, this was the ace in the hole. Massena just could go with those 3 units anytime matched up, where most clubs could only go with 2 and spot the third. They came up with 7 points. The John Paul Janess line, 3 points. How much better balance can you get than that? The defense chipped in with 4 points. Just spread the wealth around. And it was, don't want to overuse this cliche, but it's a team effort. This was a team effort from the opening whistle. All the units just worked to perfection. And whatever they did, they were successful at. The puck was bouncing their way also today. They were outstanding, but every bounce, every hop went the Red Raider way. It's tough when you're Saratoga, when you're facing the #1 team in the state, and they're so fired up, and then everything seems to go against you, it really makes it doubly tough.
Oh yeah, and it's we've talked about Massena has gotten a few breaks this year. In the past, they haven't. I've been here a few times. I started doing the games in 1983. This is my 10th season, and I've been here a few times where the bounces didn't go the Raiders' way, the officiating didn't go the Raiders' way. This year it was different, and I think there are a lot of reasons for that. But the main thing was team. It was a team effort from start to finish, and it culminated with a 10-0 victory as the Raiders are collecting their individual awards as state champions.
Team effort, great leadership by the captains out there, and everyone contributed from seniors on down to freshman Matt Reed, who's now receiving his award, and he got the Raiders going today with the first 2 goals. The defense solid all year long. Goaltending it was just the backbone out there, and complete team effort. As you mentioned, Louis out there. Someone made a huge banner, a beautiful banner with a big M on it, and it looks like it's got all the members of the team's name on it. And Louis, even Louis out there leading by inspiration and picking up the boys when they were down. But they complained about whether the coaching staff worked him too hard in practice. I know early on in the year they were complaining. They thought that Coach Jovan Marsh skated them too hard. But I'll tell you,
hard work pays off.
It does. When you look at the third period, the Raiders have outscored. When they got to the third period, they outscored the opposition 53-14 in the third period, and that tells you something. That tells you they've got a lot of legs left. When you outscore the opposition 4-1, so I'm sure they're going to forgive the coaching staff for all that hard work, because hard work certainly pays off.
Louis Trevino. They called assistant coach Louis Trevino.
Yeah,
he's going over.
Well, he's a part of this team as much as any member, as any hockey player of the coaching staff. He puts his all into it, and he's out there with Coach Long and Coach Hart and Coach Marsh receiving their award.
And the 3 captains are over there: Trevor Cameron, Chris Aldis, Jason Chilton, getting the plaque. And there's going to be a new banner hanging in the Massena Arena.
And I do want to say again before we go, Bobby Santamore and his coaching staff, a lot of credit to them, because, they got down early, but their kids did not quit. They stuck to hockey, and that says a lot for Coach Bob Santamore. And as many of our listeners know, Bobby is from the Salmon River area, and he's done an outstanding job, brought this Saratoga club to the state championship, and he's over right now making his way to Coach Tim Long and congratulating him on the fine performance.
Timmy just gets a kiss from athletic director Martha Slack, his sister. And this is a proud day for Massena hockey, and it's been a while since the Raiders have taken home a state championship, and that was the mission this year, and we can say it's mission accomplished. We'll be back with more of our post-game Red Raider show in just a moment, after this word from Frenchie Chevrolet Oldsmobile.
You're gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'll stall to see if Timmy will come up.
Okay, yeah. Lead me. Just give me a signal when you want me to start it.
Okay. Right after we come back.
Okay, all right.
Where is he? Now, the Massena Red Raiders are 1993 Division I state champions in high school hockey, and they're on the ice right now. Some pictures are being taken. Dave, right from the start of this hockey game, it was Massena's game.
Yeah, it was Massena's game, and the young freshman, Matt Reed, got the first goal, the winning goal, and if my memory serves me correctly, Jerry, he got the winning goal yesterday, too. Matt Reed on a great assist from that rugged left wing of his, B.J. Terry, who dug the puck out from behind the net and just put it right out on Matt Reed's stick. It was parked right in front, and he didn't make any mistake.
No question about it. Tarantino's pass intercepted. Here comes Spanberg. Right wing, sharp angle shot goes in behind the net. Bounces in the corner. Matt Reed after it. Flips it in behind for Brian Terry. Here's Terry centering to Reed in front. Reed shot, score! Matt Reed on a beautiful pass from Brian Terry, and the Raiders with all kinds of pressure cash in and lead this game 1-0.
And that was at the 2:32 mark, and again, it was just constant pressure up to that point, and they didn't let up. Again, this was at the 5:56 mark. Again, Matt Reed, this line was a line change in process. Raiders were changing from one unit to the other, and Derek DeRocher dumped it into the Saratoga end. Sebastian Bergeron raced in, worked hard like he's done all year long, dug the puck out, and again found number 14 parked out in front, put it on his stick, and again number 14 didn't make any mistake.
Bounces it to the blue line. DeRocher keeps it in with a skate. Dumps it in behind the net again. Picking it up is Bergeron centering pass. Reed shot, score! Matt Reed picks up his second goal of the game, and Massena goes ahead 2-0 on a pass from Sebastian Bergeron.
And they say hard work, just pays off. And this was deja vu on the third goal. Hard work again. And this time Josh Spanberg in behind the net, digging it out and finding big number 16, the chill man, out in front. Put it on his stick. And at the 8:04 mark, the Raiders up 3-0.
Spanberg looks to center. Hits the back of the mesh. Gets it back again. To Chilton in front. Shot, score! Jason Chilton, and Massena goes up 3-0.
And Saratoga trying to hang on, down 3-0, badly outplayed, and the one that just certainly the last nail that drove them to defeat, I'm sure. At the 14:45 mark, Saratoga looking to play out the period, get inside and regroup, but Trevor Cameron stole a pass in the neutral zone, fed Mark Tayo, and the Raiders gained the blue line 2-1. He put a beautiful pass across on the right side to streaking Brian LeBombard, who went in and fired a shot. Looked like Santamore had made the save, but he just couldn't control it. Up over the shoulder, down the backside, and crossed the goal line for the fourth goal.
Cameron, a hit to Tayo, 2-on-1 to LeBombard. He breaks it all by himself. Shot, and the save. Rebound goes in the net. And Massena goes up 4-0 with 15 seconds left in the first period. Brian LeBombard will get the goal. What a beautiful setup, though. The Raiders take a commanding 4-0 lead.
And the rest is history, as we well know, 4-0. And then they got that blitzkrieg on, 6 goals in 5 minutes and 6 seconds.
Cameron, Spanberg, Terry, Woodward, Spanberg again, and Gladding. No scoring in the third period, but the game had been decided, and Massena is the state champion as they win it 10-0. And I want to thank Coach Tim Long for making the long trek up to the press box, but I don't imagine you mind too much.
Well, I do a lot of skating with the kids, so I'm in pretty good shape.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What an effort. I mean,
Thanks.
I don't think, I'm not sure the Raiders have ever played a better first period.
Well, they came out. We talked about what we what we set out to do in November, and they were pretty, needless to say, pretty charged up, and they've been a very focused bunch all year. We said that right straight through the year, and there wasn't any denying them today.
And I didn't see that the Massena could do anything wrong. We were talking after the first period, and Dave says, well, the coaching staff wants us to probably say something. Maybe they stood up in front of the coach or something, looking for something to keep their heads normal size. But they came right out, and the blitzkrieg started up in the second period.
Yeah, well, we tried to make a special point coming out in the second period. We came out pretty hard yesterday in the second period, and not to say that we hadn't played well in the first period yesterday, but we tried to work on coming out in the second period and putting the game away, and trying to do it with some class and with hard work. And you can talk about talent all you want, but ultimately it's the hard work that gets you to this position. I know Coach Mack there, he agrees with that because his philosophy was hard work all the way through. And it's easy to see how that, how that comes about when you do work hard. And that's what did it today, and that's what took the game right from the start, and it sustained it.
Of course, Massena with some tough games, tough game against Potsdam in the sectional final, tough game, real tough game against Oswego. In fact, a lot of folks said that was the state championship game, and it could have been. Aquinas gave Massena a good game yesterday, and I think those tough games in a row got you ready for this, and this is where it all came together.
Oh, I think so. I really have the feeling that regardless of who'd have been out on the ice today, I think the job was getting here, and when they dropped the puck, I don't think it made any difference to us which color the jerseys were. I think we would have played the same way, and hopefully we would have had the same outcome. But I'm sure if we played the same way against anyone, we'd have the same outcome because it was our. And we talked about improvement in each game, and it culminated with this. This is our final exam, and I think we passed with flying colors.
I would say so, 10-0. That's a historic victory here. That's the largest margin, only the third shutout in state final history, and it was a big win for Massena. And I know the fans listening in are just celebrating, and I know we had a lot of Hardy fans here, and fan support all year has been great.
It's been super. Yes, it has. We talked about. We talked about making a statement, and kind of catching the state up with Massena, and that was a real goal, making a statement out here about what we thought we were made of and what we thought we could do, and that kind of thing. And if it was the biggest margin, well, that's part of a statement. And if the shutout meant something, that's part of a statement. I think it all rolls into one, and our intent was to make a statement, and I think we did.
And with the Golden Bears winning their title and Massena, the trophies are in Section 10 where they belong.
It's right. It's a great day for Section 10, and Coach Brown had these kids ready to go, and they were pretty well focused. They knew what they had to do, and they went ahead and did too. And it's it's great to have a double.
He probably
winner.
owes Massena a little bit for getting him ready for the state tournament.
Yeah, I'll bring that up to him, and he won't forget about that. You can count on that.
Tim, I know you've got a lot of people to talk to, and a lot of you want to talk to your guys and everything, and congratulate them for us. I'll be seeing them too, and it really was a wonderful season, and it culminates the way it was ordained to, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we're very happy with it, and the guys are happy, and it's just something that you set your mind to, and you pay the price to do it, and the outcome is to your benefit, and that's the way it worked.
And congratulations, your first season as head coach certainly went the way you wanted it to, and a lot of people I've talked to throughout the state are impressed with Massena hockey, and they always have been, but it was supposed to be a rebuilding year this year, and it didn't turn out to be that way.
Well, that's a statement for our program, entire program in Massena, and we tell the kids, I tell strangers that really don't know us, they say, well, you got a great program there, and my reply is almost invariably that we should have a great program, because an awful lot of people take an awful lot of time, spend an awful lot of money, change their social lives, change the way they live, while these boys go off from the time they're squirts until the time they're bantams, and as I say, they change their lives, and they change their way of living, and they put a lot of effort and a lot of money into it. We better be good after that. So maybe this is one for them too.
And you sure were good today.
Yes, we were. Thank you.
10-0. Tim, congratulations again, and thank you very much for coming up here.
Thank you, Jay.
And enjoy the evening.
Yes, well, thanks.
Okay. Coach Tim Long of the Massena Red Raiders in his first year as head coach, a state championship. And we certainly want to congratulate him and Jovan Marish and Matt Hart, his two able assistants who were so important to the program this year, Dave. It was a team effort right from the administration of the school right down through the athletic director and the coaching staff, right down to the managers who do all the work, and it's just so many people have played a big part in this win.
Well, again, everyone had a part of it, but none more, though, than those three that you just mentioned, Coach Tim Long and assistant coaches Matt Hart and Jovan Marsh. It starts there, and
that's right.
They certainly did an outstanding job on and off the ice, and just culminated here with this super hockey game. I wanted to say, when Tim said we played hard today, I think they could have given Clarkson a run for their money here this afternoon.
Speaking of which, that game is on tonight, by the way, folks. Clarkson, St. Lawrence at Cheel. That will be played. Just quickly running through the scoring, Matt Reed got the Raider machine running in all cylinders with 2 goals in the first period. He also picked up an assist, also scoring a couple of goals, Josh Spanberg, and an assist. Trevor Cameron had a goal and an assist. Jason Chilton captain, a goal and 2 assists. Derek Gladding had a goal. Brian LeBombard had a goal. Brian Terry had a goal and an assist. Let's see here. A goal for Matt Woodward. Let's see. And assists going to Chad Willard and John Paul Genest and Doug Adams and Frank Joy and Derek DeRocher, Chris Aldis, a shutout for Mike Ramsdell. He ended up with 14 saves, most of them right at the end of the game with the power play, and there were a few that were tough saves that preserved the shutout, but for the most part, those 14 saves were not all that difficult for him. Saratoga goaltending with 20 saves, which means there were 30 shots on net to 14, a 2-1 margin. It may have even been worse than that.
And a nightmare for our stat man, trying to keep track of that.
Yes, indeed. And we want to thank Joey White for all his hard work this year, one of the unsung parts of our broadcast, and also Walt Clark. I don't know exactly what Walter does, but he's here. He's our bodyguard, I guess.
Tells us that the roads are closed every 5 minutes.
Okay. We want to thank Walter. And, of course, Gail Cameron, who's been running the videotape machine. She's done a great job all year, even though she doesn't like heights and is not too comfortable in some of the press boxes we run into. And, of course, partner, I want to thank you. This is not an easy job to do sometimes when you got to brave the winter storms and the cold arenas, and you do a wonderful job. Everybody I talk to says what a great job, you know the game inside and out, and have added so much to the broadcast, and I want to thank you.
Well, thank you, Jerry, and as I've said every year, I enjoy doing it, but working with and I don't use this term easily, working with a professional like you make it easy to do the games and enjoyable to do. And I certainly enjoy doing high school hockey games, and I certainly enjoy doing them with you.
Well, we've gone way over time in our post-game show, but I guess that's allowed. We're going to wrap things up here from the Memorial Auditorium in Utica. Again, the Massena Red Raiders wrap up their season with a state championship. The Raiders started out looking for this early in the season, and they finished it up. They are going to finish at 24-2-1 and New York State Division I champs. The Canton Golden Bears won the Division II state championship, a 4-2 win over Troy LaSalle, and they end up their season at 23-4-3. Section 10 owns the 2 trophies, and it's certainly a fine day for Section 10 hockey, and we want to thank all our sponsors who have been with us all throughout the year, and we appreciate their support. And to all our listeners who tune in, and I get a lot of feedback from listeners, and I appreciate that. And I'm always open to suggestions, and always like to hear from people. And if you have anything, don't hesitate to call me. The Raiders win the championship, and it was an exciting victory. It wasn't an exciting game, as Massena dominated from start to finish. But it's always exciting when you win a championship. And again, Dave, thanks a lot.
You're entirely welcome, Jerry. And this started 126 days ago, back in November 9th. And as you say, culminated here with the championship today. My congratulations to Coach Tim Long and his staff and all the Raider players. Just a super job.
Massena wins it 10-0. They are New York State Division I high school hockey champions. That wraps up our post-game show, brought to you by Frenchie's Chevrolet Oldsmobile on East Orvis Street in Massena. That wraps up our season of high school hockey on WMSA, and we thank all our listeners and sponsors once again. Our studio engineers, Paul Durham at times, and Dave Famelo, Kevin Hollis, who is there today doing excellent jobs, Walter Clark and Joey White, our statistician, and of course for my partner Dave McLennan. I'm Jerry Manor saying so long from Utica, and congratulations to the Massena Red Raiders.